And Molly. Fibber McGee and Molly. With Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, Dick LeGrand, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show opens with Be Young Again. In Wistful Vista today, Look Who's Laughing, the picture that our friends made with Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, is having its world premiere at the Bijou Theater tonight, and everybody is in a dither. And here at the airport, where they are waiting for the arrival of Bergen's plane, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, my, this is an interesting place, McGee. You know, we ought to come out here oftener.
I think so, too. More planes. Oh, boy. Did you see that one, Molly?
Yeah.
That's one of them new military planes. One of the HIC-TIGs.
The what?
Yeah.
HIC-TIG?
Yeah. Here it comes, and there it goes. I'm thinking about buying a plane myself. Imagine me getting a sudden call to Washington, packing my bag, dashing out here to the airport, and leaping into my plane.
Out the other side and down to the railroad station. With me on your heels. No, dearie. You stay down here where the terra is firma.
Yeah, but Bergen says...
Mr. Bergen isn't married.
Maybe he ain't now, but wait till Mrs. Uppington goes to work on him. There's a grass widow that's out to make hay. Believe me.
Hello there, kids. You're just the kids I wanted to see, kids.
What can we do for you, Mr. Oldtimer?
Give me a couple of tickets to the premiere tonight. How's about it?
Gee, I'm sorry, old-timer, but we had such a demand for him that I...
No, come on, Johnny. I'll be in there whistling and stomping every time you come on the screen.
Well, how loud can you whistle?
Listen, daughter. Well, I can stomp and holler, can't I?
Well, I'll see if I can find you a couple later on, old-timer. Just now we're waiting for Bergen and McCarthy.
Oh, they flying in?
No, they're coming by rowboat. We came out here to throw them a rope.
That's pretty good, daughter, you sassy little minx. But that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller says to t'other feller, say, says, I see where... Oh, so... Is that so, says t'other feller? What makes you think that the other was on... Well, says the first feller, if they ever get out there... Make mine with onions. Best one I've heard for a long time, kids. Anything I like, it's a yard with a punch. I always...
Attention, please. Attention.
Oh, quiet, boys. Here's an announcement.
Flight 79. Plane leaving Gate 5 for Happy's Landing, Hot Springs, Warm Springs, Cold Springs, Chillicothe, and Orson's Wells will not be leaving.
Must keep that guy busy announcing the planes that don't leave. Hey, old-timer, can I have a private word with you?
Sure, Johnny. Excuse us a minute, daughter.
Oh, that's all right, boys. I'll go inside and watch the passengers getting weighed. You know, it does things for my inferiority. I'll be back in a minute.
Well, what's on your mind, Johnny?
Look, I'll get you a couple of tickets for the premiere on one condition, old-timer. You want to make a deal?
I'll do anything that's honest and above board, Johnny. Otherwise, it'll cost you 3 tickets.
Look, when the picture is over, you walk back and forth amongst the people out in the lobby, see, and rave about how good I look on the screen. What do you say?
3 tickets.
Okay, 3 tickets then. But it won't hurt your conscience any. I am good. Now remember, all you got to say is something like, boy, that McGee is a great actor, ain't he? Good and loud. You got it?
I got it. Hey, that McGee is a great actor. Ain't he good and loud?
No. You say it good and loud.
Oh,
So all the newspaper guys will hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's the 3 tickets.
Right.
And don't let me down.
Okay. I'll be in there pitching, Johnny. I'll give you a build-up that'll make Gary Cooper get on his horse and ride away into the sunset.
That was a great idea. Well, maybe it ain't strictly ethical, but... Oh, why ain't it ethical? Well, shucks, it's just publicity, ain't it? Well, yeah, but it's kind of underhanded. What's underhanded about it? Well, it's almost bribery. It ain't any such thing as bribery. All I done was...
McGee, what are you so excited about? You're all red in the face.
Oh, I was just having a little argument. I'm the most unreasonable guy to argue with. Wait, he's landing at the far end of the field.
Well, let's run out and meet him.
No, wait here. He'll taxi up to the gate.
What? Take a taxi for that little way? That's too extravagant. Come on.
Like a balalaika.
Won't you come with me down to the Russian Quarter? You will hear a melody strummed by a Russian quarter. The instrument he plays is old as love itself. It's called a balalaika. I'm speaking for myself. I'd like a balalaika, a Russian balalaika, because the gal I like likes to hear a balalaika playing like a balalaika play. They play a passionata, concerto or sonata. They sing an awful lot of notes, and that is why I like to listen when a balalaika play. You know that steel guitars don't go with samoa. The balalaika is all you'll hear in good old Russian atmosphere. Oh, the balalaikas, come on to taste delight, not waste the special reason why I like a balalaika, only that the gal I like likes to hear a balalaika playing like a balalaika play. Hey, it sets your heart to tingle, it sets your brain to jingle, two lips have got to mingle, a fellow can't stay single. Oh, I like a balalaika song.
Hey, where's Bergen and McCarthy, Molly?
They're up in Uncle Dennis's room. He won't be here tonight.
He won't?
No. He said he had an all-night gin rummy session, and between the two, he probably wouldn't be home. Oh, McGee, here's Mr. Bergen and Charlie.
Oh, hi, fellas. Find everything you need upstairs, fellas?
Oh, yes, Fibber, yes. We're very comfortable, thank you.
And you, Charlie?
Oh, I'm all right, Mom. Don't mind if I call you Mom, do you?
Not at all, Charlie. I love it.
Good. That's approach number 17, boys. Make them feel maternal and you got them. Hey, where do you folks keep the bicarbonate? Well,
What's the matter, Charlie? Don't you feel well?
No. You know, I had 15 butterscotch sundaes when we were waiting to take off this morning, and, well, they kind of sneak up on you, you know. You know, I remember one time I was...
Oh, dear. Come in.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. McGee and Mr. McGee?
Hello, Abigail.
Hi, Uppy.
Who's the moose in the minx, Bergen?
Why, Charlie? Why, she's a society leader here. Mrs. Uppington, I believe.
Oh, is that so? She looks like a 5 and 10 cent baby from $1 million store.
Charlie, will you remember we're guests here?
Hey, Ed, I want you to meet a friend of ours, Mrs. Uppington.
Yes, Mrs. Uppington. This is Mr. Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, yes. How do you do, Mrs. Uppington?
I'm simply delighted to meet you, Mr. Bergen. I've been dying to meet you.
All over or just your hair again, Uppy?
Well, Mrs. Uppington has talked of nothing else for days, Mr. Bergen. You know, she's one of your greatest fans.
Well, that ought to cool you off, Bergen, huh? I take it you're going to the premiere tonight, Mrs. Uppingtail?
Not Uppington, Charlie. Abigail Uppington.
Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Uppington, excuse me.
That's quite all right, you dear boy. After all, a rose by any other name would smell.
You said it, babe. Will you watch what you're saying, Charlie? Well, there's many a slip twixt your lip and my quip, Bergen. You know that.
Charlie is such an irrepressible little fella, Abigail.
Of course, my dear, I understand. Oh, and I'm so glad I met them, so I could invite you all over to my home after the theater tonight for midnight supper.
Oh, well, thanks, Uppy. We'll be there. I always have an appetite after watching one of my performances, Uppy.
You ought to. You're strictly from hunger. No, you know Fibber did a wonderful job in that picture.
Yes,
Wonderful.
sir. Yes, sir. I remember what you said after the first day's shooting, Charlie.
Well, what did I say now? What did I say?
I know what you says. You says, what a character man he is.
Yeah? That's exactly what you said, Charlie. No, not exactly. No, not exactly. Well, what I said was, man, what a character he is. I know. Well, how about this midnight supper, Bergen? Shall we sneak over to Snook's for a snack? Well, of course. Sure. And they have some laughs. Huh? Yes, we'll be there, Mrs. Uppington, and thank you.
Oh, splendid, splendid. And it would be such a lovely night. I do want you to see my garden by moonlight, Mr. Bergen. Well, see you there. Hasta la Wistful Vista, as we say in Spain.
You seem to have made quite an impression on her, Mr. Bergen.
All you got to do to impress her is wear trousers and speak English. And broken English would do.
A very charming woman, I thought.
No, careful there, Edgar. She's setting her cap for you.
Oh, my goodness, not that.
Well, what's wrong with that, Charlie?
Did you ever see Bergen in a cap?
I've seen Ed in a cap, and I thought he looked pretty smooth, Charlie.
Well, he looks a lot smoother without it.
Excuse me, I've got to run up and get dressed. It's almost time to go to the theater.
Oh, certainly, Molly. We'll run along now. I will
Hey,
just...
Fibber, how about... Oh, hello, Edgar. Hello, Charlie.
Oh, hello, Harlow. Well, if it isn't the old polish promoter. How's your linoleum today, Mr. Wilcox?
Pretty perky, Charlie. How's your coffee?
Percolating pretty, pal.
Are you going to the premiere tonight and see yourself on the screen, Mr. Wilcox?
Oh, gee, I don't know, Molly. I'm scared. I guess I've got stage fright.
Oh, you've got to be there, Harlow. You'll be expected to say a few words into the microphone, for the crowd.
Honest, will I?
Why, yes. Oh, it's easy, Mr. Wilcox. You just say what everybody else says. I hope you will enjoy seeing this picture half as much as we enjoyed making it. Work like dogs. What's trite always used.
Oh, you mustn't be nervous, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, I am.
It's a vicious circle, isn't it? Well, how about us, Wilcox? We were in there, too,
What do you mean, Charlie?
Well, why don't you say after the movie, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy a grand cup of delicious coffee?
Yes, in your beautiful, gleaming, spotless kitchen.
Darn it, he did it again, didn't he?
Well, I better run home now and get dressed. I'll see you later, folks.
Doesn't he ever lose his gusto, Fibber?
No. Well, I simply must be getting dressed, and you boys had better be getting into your dinner clothes, too.
I believe you're right, Molly. Come on, Charlie. Go ahead, Bergen, go ahead. I'm going to wear pajamas.
Oh, but pajamas aren't dinner clothes, Charlie.
Well, they are if you eat in bed. Well, now go away, all of you. There's a book here I want to read.
What is it, Charlie?
Well, it's Peoria High School Annual for 1912. It's a murder story. That's what it is.
What do you mean, a murder story?
Well, look at this picture, you. It kills me.
Come on, Molly. Come on, Ed.
He's a character. Peoria High School. I'll bet he was voted the student most likely to succeed, making a chump of himself. Come in.
Hi, Mr. McGee. Oh, you're not Mr. McGee.
No, you can say that with a glad smile. My interesting little intruder.
Gee, I bet you're Charlie McCarthy, I bet you.
I am, indeed I am. Charles McCarthy, man of the world, man about town, and man the pumps, boys. I'm going to work. You a local girl, beautiful? I say, are you one of the neighborhood nifties, or One of the more impressive imports. Not that I don't want to be personal, because I do.
Well, I live in that greenhouse across the street.
Is that so? A greenhouse, huh? Most appropriate, I blooming well think, my blossom.
You mean as a bouquet, I'm okay, huh?
Yeah. You're the girl of my dreams. Let's take a walk in my sleep sometime. How's about a date for the premiere tonight, huh?
Oh, I bet you don't want to go out with me, Mr. McCarthy.
Oh, come. Let's not stand on formality. Let's jump on its face. Call me Charlie, huh? Or better than that, wouldn't you like to call me Chuck, huh?
Yes, I would, Chuck.
No, not Woodchuck.
Okay, Charliekins.
Oh, that's better, Charliekins. Would you say it again?
Charliekins.
Mozart never wrote music like that. Come over here and sit by me, angel face. Let's discuss us.
I guess I better be going home. I gotta do my homework.
Homework? Oh, tush. Going out with me is a liberal education. Though if Bergen was more liberal with me, I could be more liberal. Well, let's face facts. You know, I could go for a girl like you.
Gee, could you?
Yes, indeed. How about a little kiss? You good at oscillating?
No, I always fall down.
What was that?
You said, was I good at ice skating, and I said I always fall down.
Ice skating and osculating are two very different things, my demi-debutante. Or didn't you know?
Sure, I know, I betcha. In ice skating, you gotta keep your feet, and in osculating, you gotta keep your head. And if you think you're getting anywhere with that fast patter, you better get back in your den before somebody collects the bounty on you. So goodbye, Wolf.
Scuttle my schooner and call it no sail. Hey, Bergen, lay on my evening clothes. I'm going with you.
Arthur Tilton sings I See a Million People.
I see a million people, but all I can see is you. I hear a million voices, but only your voice comes through. I wait for your footstep, I've waited before. I know that it's you. If you knock on the door, I'll know you're around by the sound of my pounding heart. I see a million faces, but what do I really see? A million little traces keeps bringing you back to me. And try as I may to forget to care, what can I do if you're always there? I see a million people, but all I can see is you. I've tried on my own to go it alone. I've tried to get lost in a crowd. But even when I wander the roaring streets, the picture of you repeats. I see a million faces, but what do I really see? A million little traces keeps bringing you back to me. And try as I may to forget to care, what can I do if you're always there? I see a million people, a million little traces, a million kinds of voices, and 100 million faces, but all I can see is you.
Excuse Excuse me, mister, but am I too late to see Look Who's Laughing? I couldn't find a place to park.
Sorry, sir, it's just about over. In fact, it is over. You better stand to one side. Here comes the crowd now. Very good picture. Yes, I enjoyed it.
Well, Molly, what do you think? Pretty good stuff, eh?
Well, I thought it was very good, McGee. How was I?
I don't know. I was busy watching me. How was I?
I don't know, and for the same reason. Oh, hello, Mayor Latrivia. Did you like the picture?
Yes, indeed, Mrs. McGee. I thought you did a simply splendid piece of work.
How about me, Trivial? Is it true what they say about me being another Barrymore?
It's possible, if there must be another Barrymore. Good night. Good night, Mrs. McGee.
Good night, Mayor. McGee, where are you going?
In the box office. I want to use the telephone and call the newspapers. Going to tell them what a success it was. Come on, Molly. I'll tell them. Hey, Bud, you mind if I use your telephone? Who are you?
Don't you know? He was the star of the picture tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I didn't recognize him, Mr. Bergen. Go right ahead and use the phone.
Oh,
Hurry up, McGee. I want to go out and hear what people are saying.
Okay. Hello, operator. Give me the Wistful Vista Gazette or the... Huh? Oh, is that you, Mert?
You're at a time like this.
How's every little thing, Mert? It is, eh? What's that, Mert? Your brother. Thrown in the Hoosgow, eh?
Oh, heavenly days. What for, McGee?
The police force elected him king of the cops for 1941, and they're building him a throne in the Hoosgow. They're building him a throne in the Hoosgow. What's that, Mert? Line's all busy. Okay, I'll call later. Goodbye, Mert.
Why don't you do it again?
Come on, Molly. Well, thanks, Bud.
Okay, Mr. Bergen.
Yes, I thought that wild airplane scene was the most exciting.
It was the dishwashing thing that got me. I never
And then
liked
Charlie McCarthy was talking to the fellow.
Yes, sir. I always said that Edgar Bergen was one of the finest actors on the screen. Oh, what a job he did tonight.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hey, old-timer. Come here a minute.
Well, hello there, kids. Great picture, wasn't it? And what do you think of this Bergen boy? Really got something, eh? Yes, sir. Bergen is the...
Hey, wait a minute. Did we have a deal on or didn't we?
Hey? Oh, you mean them 3 tickets you gave me to talk you up, Johnny?
Say, what is this?
That's what I mean, and don't talk so loud, old-timer. What's the idea of double-crossing me? We heard you come out raving about Bergen.
I know, Johnny. I'm sorry about that. Personally, as actors, you and Bergen are about even. But when you give me 3 tickets and he gives me $10, well, you can see how it is. Excuse me now, I gotta go do my job. Yes, sir, that boy Bergen is potentially one of the greatest actors.
Put him. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Yes, and I hope your nephew is proud of you. Now, come on. Doing it, didn't we, dearie?
Yeah, but I don't know. As good as I was in it, I really think I could still do better if I had the...
You know, that's what everybody says.
They do? Gee, ain't that wonderful?
Oh, say, McGee, I almost forgot. RKO called this morning, and they want you to come back.
Hot dog. They do? To make another picture?
No. You left your correspondence course in how to act in the dressing room.
Oh, so... Good night.
Good night, all.
Hollywood had been co-starred in a moving picture. And then the picture was going to have its world premiere next week in your neighborhood theater in your hometown. Just imagine how you'd feel if the picture was Look Who's Laughing. The theater was the Bijou, the town was Wistful Vista, and you were Fibber McGee and Molly.
Isn't it it thrilling, McGee?
Yeah.
Imagine us in the movies and having the premiere right here in Wistful Vista.
Well, this town's been good to us, and they deserve it. I'll always remember Wistful Vista. Even when I get to be a big screen lover like Henry Fonda and Gary Cooper and Billy Burke.
No, Billy Burke is a woman.
He is? I mean, is she? Oh, well, you know what I mean. I mean, when I get started playing romantic scenes with some of them glamour gals like Jean Hersholt and...
No. Jean Hersholt is a man.
Is she? Uh-huh. Oh.
Maybe you better do Western. Nobody will care whether your horse is a boy or a girl.
No, I'm more the romantic type. I'm the kind
of... Oh, now, take it easy, McGee. Huh? Take it easy. Remember, there's only one man who will ever command respect by blowing his own horn.
Who?
Gabriel. Incidentally, did you call the Bijou Theater and reserve a block of seats?
Oh, say, I better do that. Give me the phone.
Here.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me the Bijou Theater. Hey, is that you, Mert?
Oh, dear. More dirt from Mert.
How's every little thing, Mert? It is, eh? What's say, Mert? Your sister. Broke her nose, eh? Oh, that's wonderful, Mert.
Oh, heavenly days, McGee. What's wonderful about that?
Her sister made a lot of dough on the stock market, but just how much? Only her broke her nose. What's say, Mert? Oh, okay, I'll call him later. Goodbye, Myrtle. The line's busy, Molly.
Well, we better get busy, too.
Huh?
If we're going to invite Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy to stay with us next week, we've got to straighten up this house. And anyway... Who's that?
I'll peek out and see. Oh, it's Mrs. Uppington. And you ought to see her. She's got on one of them off-the-face hats.
Well, on her it should look good. She's got one of those off-the-hat faces. Come in. Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Uppington? So nice to see you.
How do you do, my dear? And Mr. McGee?
Hi, Uppy. Well, you look in the pink of condition. Though I didn't know conditions were that bad.
Oh, Mr. McGee, you mischievous boy.
Yeah, I'm a rip.
Yes. I'm afraid you're always pulling my arm, as the saying goes.
It's leg, as the saying really goes, Abigail.
Yeah.
I know, my dear, but I have always maintained that humor was not necessarily dependent on vulgarity.
No, but it sometimes helps. Hey, what you got there, Uppy? Been doing some Christmas shopping?
Christmas shopping? Oh, my, I almost forgot. Here, this is for you.
For us? Oh, Abigail, you shouldn't have done it.
How do you know she shouldn't have, Molly? What is it, Uppy?
You may unwrap it if you wish, Mr. McGee.
Oh, okay. Well, what?
Well, heavenly day.
Oh, a drinking fountain.
A new smoking stand.
Oh.
And streamlined. Why, it's beautiful, Abigail, but why...
Well, my dear, with all those important people coming for the premiere next week, I thought that... Oh, well, I did want your house to look nice. And the one bad note in this room, to me, has always been that ash receiver of Mr. McGee's. So I took the liberty
of... how thoughtful of you, Mrs. Uppington. I'm simply delighted.
Yeah.
And that old smoking stand of McGee's was beginning to smell horribly of cigars.
Well, it's getting hard to find cigars made of gardenias. Defense program, you know. But thanks, Uppy. Gee, it's really beautiful.
Well, the only thing is, it makes your Davenport look very shabby and tired.
Oh, say. It doesn't that, McGee.
Huh?
Look at that velour. The nap looks like it just heard the alarm clock.
Well, you could get a new Davenport, you know.
Oh, we might at that, McGee. What do you say?
Well, I don't know,
Say,
Molly.
come to think of it, there's a clearance sale at the Bonton, isn't there, Abigail?
Oh, indeed there is, my dear.
Well,
in fact, I just bought this hat there. Isn't it simply ducky?
It's ducky, all right. It's as foul a hat as I ever...
McGee.
It's quite all right, Mrs. McGee. After all, one never expects a man to understand a woman's taste in hats.
Say, isn't it the truth, Abigail? And why should he talk? Did you ever see him in that little green Tyrolean hat of his with the yellow feather in the band?
Indeed I have, my dear. He looks quite dashing.
Oh, dashing, eh?
Yes. Dashing home from a dogfight. Touche, Mr. McGee. Touche.
What do you mean, touche? I never wore a touche in my life. I've got as much hair now as I ever had, and what's more...
No, dearie. Not toupee. Touche. That's a French expression meaning, I got you that time, didn't I?
And you are quite right, my dear. Men should never criticize women's clothes.
I should say not. Look at all the silly pockets a man has in his clothes.
Huh?
At least 4 in his trousers, 4 in his vest, and 5 in his coat. 13 pockets.
Yes, and all on account of you women.
Why, what do you mean, Mr.
Well, look,
McGee?
take the 4 in the pants. In the left-hand hip pocket, a wallet to pay for them silly hats. In the right-hand hip for a card case. Yeah. So when you use up all our dough, we can identify ourselves and write a check. In the left front, small bills. All we ever have left. In the right hand, small change. On account of you never have 2 bits to tip the girl in the powder room.
Now, just a minute, McGee.
Now, let me get through. Next, the best. In the lower left hand, door keys on account of it takes a woman 15 minutes to find her own.
Yes, but...
In the lower right hand, watch so we can check up on how late you always are.
Oh.
Upper left hand, small flashlight to find the gloves you dropped in the movie. In the upper right hand, fountain pen to write the check when we've identified ourselves from the card case in the pants pocket.
Yes, but the coat, Mr. McGee...
I'm coming to the coat.
Oh.
First, the inside breast pocket. There's the gas bill you wanted us to mail because you forgot it until today. The outside breast pocket. Handkerchief for you to cry in at the movie where you dropped your gloves. On the lower left side, compact and lipstick where you ain't got room for 'em in on account of your purse. And the lower right side, empty, so you can tuck your hand in and get it warm on account of you lost your gloves in the movie. Ah, toupee, girls, toupee.
Well, how about it, McGee? Shall we go downtown and buy a new Davenport, or shan't we?
Oh, I suppose we better. Oh, we'll never get as good a one as this one has been.
Yeah, you'll never save that many cigar coupons again, either.
You said it, baby. I practically inhaled all the furniture in this room.
Well, I wish you'd have taken a few extra puffs and got a better-looking floor lamp.
What's the matter with the floor lamp?
Well, the cord's all frayed, for one thing. I've told you a dozen times to run the wire under the rug.
Doggone it, I tried to, and darn near smothered under there.
Well, never mind that. Now, get your hat and let's get going. With this clearance sale, we ought to get a nice Davenport.
Oh, come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hi, little girl. I'm sorry I haven't got time to talk to you now. I got to go downtown.
Why?
Got to buy a new Davenport.
Why?
Well, because we're expecting some important guests next week.
Why?
Because they're holding the world premiere of our picture at the Bijou Theater next week, that's why. And stop asking why. I says stop. No. Sis, you're impossible.
I am not, I betcha.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, no, I can't be impossible, I betcha.
Why?
Because impossible means it couldn't happen, and I happen.
Why?
And stop saying why.
Okay. All I can say, sis, is you've certainly got a gift for butting in here whenever we're ready to go someplace.
Gee, have I, mister? What is it?
What's what?
My gift.
I didn't say you had a gift.
You did, too. I heard you just as plain.
Well, I didn't mean it that way. I meant it...
Engine giver, engine giver, engine giver.
That bad it, sis. Keep quiet. I'll give you a gift. I'll do anything. But quit yelling at me. Now, what do you want?
Tell me a story.
Gee. Sis, you mean to stand there with your first teeth making a last stand? And ask for a story when you know darn well we're in a hurry to get downtown?
Gee, mister, I guess you don't love little children.
Yes, I do too love little children. Don't you love big men?
Gee, sure I do, mister. You want me to tell you a story, do you?
Oh, I'd much prefer that. Go ahead.
Okay. Once upon a time, there was a little Boston Bull Terrier, and some bad boys tried to tie a tin can on him, but they couldn't do it.
Well, go on with the story.
That's all. It was a very short tale.
Tale. If that little twerp ever...
McGee, never mind that. We got to get down to the furniture store. It's getting late.
Oh, it is. Okay. Well, come on. Let's go.
Mrs. McGee, I assure you that this is definitely the Davenport for you.
All right, Mr. Twomley. Send it right out.
Very well. Now that you have this lovely new Davenport, don't you think the rest of your furniture might look just a teeny, teeny, weeny bit lousy?
Now, wait a minute, Twom. You can't stand there...
He's right, McGee. Absolutely right. With all our old stuff, that new Davenport will be as conspicuous as a cow in a canoe.
Indeed it will, madam. Whereas it should be as casual as a hug on a hayride.
Oh. Well, what are we going to do about it? Move everything out but the Davenport and just let the guests in 3 at a time?
No, but we've got to have new draperies and a couple of end tables, and that bookcase is pretty battered. And the floor lamp isn't much good.
What kind of a floor lamp is it?
Oh, it's one of them 3-way lights, Bud. It goes out if you bump it, touch it, or look at it. Well, maybe you're right, Molly.
Why, of course I'm right, McGee. Next week is one of the most important occasions in our lives. And with some new furniture, why, we...
Hello, Molly. Hello, Fibber.
Hello, Harlow.
Well, what's the matter with you, Mr. Wilcox?
You look like someone had stripped the gears on your kitty car, Si.
Oh, it's nothing. Forget it. I just met Billy Mills down the piano department, and he offered me tickets to a football game, and I lost my temper, that's all.
Heavenly days, why?
Well, I just dislike football, that's all. I despise it. I hate football. I don't understand, Mr. Wilcox. Why should you have such an aversion to the thrilling spectacle of 11 muscular gentlemen kicking the teeth out of 11 other muscular gentlemen? Well, I'll tell you what my aversion is. How could I, a guy making his living selling genuine Johnson self-polishing glow coat, the finest, no rubbing, no buffing floor polish, how could I ever enjoy a game that depends on substitutes? Always sending in substitutes. It burns me up.
Oh, but Mr. Wilcox, you could watch the practice games. Maybe a good scrub team would...
Listen to her. Scrub team. Don't say scrub to me. With Johnson's self-polishing glow coat making your kitchen linoleum so easy to keep clean and beautiful without old-fashioned scrub...
Whoop.
Oh, I can't stand it. Let me out of here. Scrub team. Substitutes. Football. Temperamental fellow, isn't he?
Oh, he takes his work very seriously, Mr. Twomley.
Yeah, he's almost too conscientious. That guy won't even send the home office a night letter unless it's a nice night. Well, what am I waiting for? Or what are we waiting for?
Where are the draperies, Mr. Twomley?
Oh, yes, the draperies. Right down the stairs over here, Mrs. McGee.
Well, I think these draperies will do us very nicely, Mr. Twomley.
Yes, I think you've done us very nicely, too, Twombly.
Oh, thank you. And now for some of the smaller pieces, Mrs. McGee.
What do you mean, smaller pieces? Ain't we bought enough stuff?
Now, McGee, be reasonable.
Huh?
With the new Davenport and new draperies, we can't have that other tacky-looking furniture spoiling the effect.
You mean just because we get a new ashtray, we got to refurnish the whole house to go with it? Why don't I just give up smoking?
For good?
Well, why not?
You can't do it.
I can, too. I've done it a dozen times. Why, I remember that...
Oh, excuse me a moment. Some gentleman is trying to catch my attention. Was there something I could do for you, sir?
No, my dapper dispenser of domestic doodads. There's nothing you can do for me, but I'm about to do something for you. One of those charitable impulses to which I rarely become a victim.
Hey, Molly, it's Horatio K. Boomer. Hiya, Boomer.
Hello, Mr. Boomer. We haven't seen you for a long time.
Ah, there. Good day, my dear. A nasty November to you, soybean.
Where you been keeping yourself, Boomer?
Haven't been keeping myself, egg roll. I've been kept. Been detained for a few months upstate on a charge of loitering.
Oh, loitering. Why, they can't sentence you for several months just for loitering.
They can if you're loitering in the First National Bank after closing hours, my dear.
Well, what were you doing in there after hours?
Just trying to straighten out a check, stub.
But what was it you wished to see me about, sir?
Oh, yes. Thought you might like to know I saw a shoplifter upstairs. On the 4th floor in the west wing. Suggest you investigate.
Heavenly days, a shoplifter. Are you sure, Mr. Boomer?
Certainly, certainly. I should know a shoplifter when I see one.
Oh, I'll say you should, Boomer. You've seen so much of the seamy side of life, you got lint in your outlook.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Boomer. I'll report the matter very shortly. We don't like shoplifters in here.
Glad to be of service, my boy. Remember, 4th floor, west wing. Saw the fellow several times with my own eyes. Well, good day, my dear. A superficial so long to you, simp.
So long, Boomer.
Well, imagine Mr. Boomer meeting a shoplifter face to face.
Incidentally, what do they sell in the west wing of the 4th floor, Bud?
Looking glasses and mirrors.
Oh.
Now, let's see. What other furnishings did you have in mind, Mrs. McGee? Perhaps...
That's fine, boys, but please move that bookcase farther to the right there.
Careful, fellas. Don't scratch my new ashtray.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, lady.
Well, how does it look, McGee?
I gotta admit...
Everything in its place already.
Yeah, looks pretty good, Molly. Especially the ashtray. You know, if it hadn't been for Mrs. Uppington, we'd have never refurnished this room. Bless her heart. I wish she had to pay the bill, darn her hide.
Now, don't talk like that, dearie. This room is really livable now.
The only thing I don't like is this new rug, Molly.
It's a beautiful rug. A genuine Oriental.
The tag says it was made by the Weave a Million Rug Company in Hackensack, New Jersey.
Absolutely. I always say if you buy an Oriental rug, get one made by honest American labor. Come in.
Hello there, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Oh, hi, Wimple, old man. Come in and curl your corpus up on our new Davenport.
Well, how are you today, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, just fine, Mrs. McGee. I saw the men moving your new furniture in, so I just sat right down on the curbstone and wrote you a poem.
Oh, how nice.
I'll reserve judgment till I hear your living room lyrics, Wimp.
I think it's one of my best pieces, Mr. McGee. I really do. The title is, The End Table Broke Its Leg and We Had to Shoot It Back to the Factory.
Well, read it in your well-modulated voice, Mr. Wimple.
All righty. It goes, Here's to the McGees in their well-furnished home. I hope they'll be happy, this princess and prince.
Prince don't rhyme, Wimple.
I know, Mr. McGee, but I don't like to call you a gnome.
They have only one piece which the room could well lack. That new straight-back chair should be sent right straight back. Do you like it?
What, the chair or the poem?
I think it was very sweet of you, Mr. Wimple. Do you often sit down on curbstones and write poetry?
Oh, we poets must work wherever the mood strikes us, Mr. McGee. Some of my best work I do while I'm, well, almost anywhere in the house. Except in my wife's gymnasium. I can't work there.
See, your wife is very athletic, isn't she, Mr. Wimple?
Indeed, she is, Mrs. McGee. She can put the shot 99 yards, you know.
Honest? You go in for any of that stuff, Wimple?
Only the 100-yard dash, Mr. McGee.
Well, hasn't Mrs. Wimple any feminine qualities, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, yes, Mrs. McGee, of course. She's really a very feminine person. You should see men leap up to give her their seats on the streetcar.
Do they really?
Indeed they do. Or else. Well, I just dropped in to say hello, folks. So, goodbye.
Poor little Wimple. He sure has it tough, don't he?
I'll bet the worm will turn someday, McGee.
Yep. Just in time to see the hen's last peck. Oh, well, let's forget Wimple. Let's just sit here and enjoy my new ashtray and stuff.
Oh, isn't this room beautiful now?
Yeah, my new ashtray sure sets it off, don't it? Ah, good old Uppy.
Oh, and isn't this Davenport comfortable, though?
Yeah, I'll bet my hip will heal up now where that spring always dug into it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Just look how the pattern in those draperies harmonizes.
Oh, now who? Come in.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Uppington. Come in and see what you're responsible for.
What I'm responsible... Oh, my dear. Oh, it's lovely. All new furniture and draperies. And a rug. Oh, how lovely.
You like it, Uppy?
It's simply charming, Mr. McGee. If I had done it myself, I wouldn't change a thing. Not a single thing. Except possibly...
Except what?
That smoking stand. It's a little modernistic for the room, wouldn't you say?
The smoking stand?
But, Dad, Radit, the whole room was refurnished around that smoking stand, and I love it.
And you gave it to us.
Oh, yes, I know, but since you have redecorated, it is entirely out of key.
Oh.
Now, here, I'll show you.
No.
Let's throw it out.
No.
What? Yeah.
No. Wait a minute.
Oh. There now. Isn't that better? Now the room is utterly charming. Oh, I don't know what gave you the idea to do it over, but it was a splendid idea. Goodbye.
Take it easy, dearie. Control yourself. Have a cigar.
I can't. There's no place to put the ashes.
Forget the ashes. Light up a cigar. And give me one, too. Are Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy really going to visit us next week?
Sure they are.
Positively?
Absolutely.
How can you be sure?
Because Charlie McCarthy promised me on...
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. You know what's the matter with a man when he gets a glassy glint in his eye and his hands begin to twitch and he starts wearing his oldest clothes? He's got fixitis. He's got to fix something. Any wife will recognize the symptoms in her husband, even unto Fibber McGee and Molly.
McGee, what are you doing now?
I can't tell you, Molly. You're going to be surprised, though, and I don't want you to come into the dining room until I get through. Now, no snooping.
McGee, I never snoop when you know it.
Ooh.
I flatter myself that I have less feminine curiosity than any woman I know.
Yeah. You sure flatter yourself. Hey, you know where the pliers are?
Yes, I do.
Well, I wish you'd leave them alone. I can never find any of my things when I want them.
Yes, sir.
When you take my pliers, put them back where you got them.
Yes, sir.
Don't be so careless. Where are they?
Sticking out of your hip pocket.
Huh? Oh. Yeah, I thought those dining room chairs were getting a little uncomfortable.
Say, why do you have to work in the dining room? You have a workbench and a tool chest all fixed up in the basement.
Because, Mrs. McGee, you're using my workbench to stretch curtains on. And you dumped out all my tools so you could use my tool chest to put preserves in. And it's too hot working down there near that furnace, and besides, the light is better up here.
What's the real reason?
I saw a spider down there.
For goodness sakes. So you won't tell me what you're fixing, huh?
No, secret. And don't look so worried. I can take care of it, all right. I installed that new chime doorbell okay, didn't I?
Yes, except that it plays a different tune every time somebody rings it.
Sure it does. Why do you think I hooked it up with all those player piano rolls?
Well, I tell you, the milkman rang it yesterday, and it started to play Land of the Sky Blue Water, and was I ever embarrassed?
Well, it works. That's the main thing. You got to admit, when I start something, I get results.
Yes, but not the ones you expected.
I'll even... Oh, I forgot to go to the newsstand.
What'd you want at the newsstand, McGee?
Some Greek newspapers.
Why, you can't read Greek.
And that's why I wanted them.
I don't get it.
Well, I want to spread them out on the dining room table so as I won't scratch the table.
Oh.
If I use American papers, I get started reading them and I don't get anything done.
Well, now, is that bad?
You wait. You're really going to be delighted when I get through. Now, remember now, Molly, no peeking.
Oh, my. And to think I married him because he was so quiet and modest. Oh, dear. Come in. Oh, hello, Mrs. Uppington.
How do you do, my dear? And Mr... And what on earth is going on?
Well, it's McGee, Abigail. He's being the boy builder again.
Always a handyman about the house, isn't he, my dear?
Well, he's always about the house. I'll go that far with you. Oh, McGee, Mrs. Uppington is here.
Well, don't answer the door. Maybe she'll go away.
Well, I must say...
McGee, she's here, inside.
Huh?
Ah, you knew it all the time, you little joker, you.
Yeah, sure, I knew it. Just kidding, Uppy, old Drip.
Drip? Now, please, Mr. McGee.
Yes, Drip. You always remind me of a bottle of lovely perfume, Uppy. Slowly dripping its heavenly fragrance into the world to delight the soul of mankind.
Oh, Mr. McGee, how sweet.
Nice recovery, dearie.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, how are slum conditions over your way, Uppy? How does it seem to get away from your own degrading atmosphere for a glimpse into the lives of the better element?
Mr. McGee, you are so amusing, really. But sometimes I don't quite know how to take you.
Yes, and sometimes I wouldn't care how you took him if you only would.
Oh, don't fight over me, girls. And pardon my dirty hands, Uppy. I'm in the middle of a project. It's a secret for Molly.
Oh, well, can't you tell just me what it is, Mr. McGee? I won't say a word. Cross my heart.
Well, I don't know. Hitler crossed his heart, too, and then people found out he didn't have any.
Now, please, Mr. McGee, don't mention me in the same breath with Hitler.
I should say not. The only resemblance between you and Hitler, Abigail, is that you're not a man either.
Let me whisper in your ear, Uppy. I'll tell you what I'm fixing for Molly.
Oh, do, Mr. McGee. Here.
Well, I suppose you... And for a long time, she... So what does I do? But I... And I've almost... What do you think?
Mr. McGee, how delightful, really.
Say, look, Abigail, I was just going to make some tea. Now, will you stay a while and have a hook or a oolong?
Don't you know, Mrs. McGee, I just stopped in to ask you and Mr. McGee to come to my New Year's Eve party.
Well, I don't know, Uppy. What kind of a ball are you going to bounce?
Oh, music and dancing and all that sort of thing, you know. A buffet supper at midnight. Oh, and Mrs. McGee, your Uncle Dennis has promised me he will mix up some of his special punch for the guests.
Oh, he did he? Well, if Uncle Dennis mixes it, Abigail, it'll have more authority than the OPM.
I'll say. That guy mixed me an eggnog last week when I had a little cold.
Oh, and then did you go right to bed, Mr. McGee?
They tell me I did. So you're throwing a brawl Wednesday night to give 1941 the bum's rush, are you, Uppy?
Is your party going to be formal, Abigail?
Yes, you don't mind, do you?
Oh, I should say not. When I get into my evening clothes, it changes my whole personality. I'm a different guy entirely, Uppy.
Indeed you are. Why, the night you and Mrs. McGee went to the opera with me, I overheard someone ask if you weren't Mr. Tracy.
Oh, Spencer?
No, Dick. They said he must be someone out of the funny paper. Oh, we'll drop over about 9 Wednesday. Goodbye.
That triple-chinned old walrus.
Now, take it easy, dearie. Personally, I always admired Dick Tracy. He's wonderful.
Say, he is at that, ain't he? Come to think of it, I have got that same steady look in my eye.
Sure.
That determined chin. That well-chiseled nose. Hey, where's my chisel, Molly? I got to get to work. I can't be standing around here all day.
Much noise. I'm trying to play solitaire.
You calling me, Molly?
Yes, I was. Heavenly days, just look at you. I never saw you so grimy.
Oh, I know, but what's a ton of soil to a son of toil? That's what I always say. You get it, Molly? Ton of soil, son of toil?
It ain't funny, McGee.
It ought to be. I got it out of that book you gave me for Christmas. 10,000 after-dinner jokes, speeches, anecdotes, and what to do till the dessert comes. Trying too hard.
There you are. Now listen, be a little more quiet. I'm trying to play a game of solitaire here. Well, you really fixed that doorbell, didn't you, dearie?
Gee, it's wonderful, ain't it? The old gray mare. I wonder who that could be. Come in.
Oh, hello, Mayor Latrivia.
How do you do, Mrs. McGee? Don't let me interrupt your game of solitaire. Hello, McGee.
Hi, Latriv. Excuse my looks. I got kind of messed up working on a little job for Molly.
Don't pass the buck to me, son of toil. It was your idea, not mine. Won't you sit down, Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, no, Mrs. McGee. Now then, McGee, as one of our prominent citizens, I wish to ask you if... black juice on red tray, Mrs. McGee.
Where? Oh, yes, thank you.
Don't mention it. As I was saying, McGee, we are putting on a drive to sell defense bonds and stamps.
Oh, swell. I got a great slogan for you.
You have? What is it?
Every time you buy a bond, you slap a Jap across the pond. How do you like it, Latrivia? Well, so the city is going to start a drive to sell bonds and stamps, eh? Well, so what?
The procedure will be something like this, McGee. We will have a large sound truck playing recordings of military music. We stop the truck at prominent corners, and well-known citizens make speeches from the back platform and urge the crowds to buy defense bonds and stamps. Your name has been suggested.
Oh, I tell you, I'm sure McGee will be very useful, Mr. Mayor. Oh, he makes wonderful speeches.
Yeah. She ain't singing Dixie, Latrivia. I always been known as a guy who could use his head when he got up on his feet.
Oh. A contortionist. Well, I don't imagine we need any such...
Wait till I get up on that platform of that truck, Latrivia. I'll hold out my hand for silence, and then I'll say, real dramatic, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say, with a kind of a dramatic, emotional throb in my throat. Ladies and gentlemen, would you like to hit Hitler, Mussolini, and Nipponese? Then there'll be a short cheer. And I'll
Excuse me, McGee. You don't understand. I'll be making the speeches.
Fine. You introduce me, and when I get up on that
You won't make any speeches.
Well, then what's he doing on the truck?
Changing the records for the military music. Meet me at the City Hall tomorrow morning. Good day, Mrs. McGee.
Well, dearie, Looks like the only way you can wangle yourself into the city hall is through a drain pipe. Well, aren't you burnt up?
Nope.
What?
They want me to turn records on a sound truck to sell defense bonds? Okay. I'll turn records. I'll do anything. I'll even drive the truck.
Well, good for you, McGee.
Betcha.
Now, why don't you go back to work? You know, it's getting awful quiet in here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dear. Now the 3 of hearts I need is buried. If I could only... Come in, Mr. Wilcox.
Hello, Molly. I just dropped in to thank you for the swell Christmas present. Hey, what goes on in the dining room? Sounds like Judgment Day in the junkyard.
Well, it's just McGee, Mr. Wilcox. He's fixing something. Says it's a secret.
Well, I don't know how you can play solitaire with that going on.
No, I don't either. You know, I think I'll give up.
I don't blame you. Say, Molly, can you tell fortunes with cards?
Only McGee's. Every time he plays poker with the boys, I can predict that 4 men will cross his path and he'll lose $4.25. Why, can you?
No, but I can read your palm.
Can you really?
Sure. Here, give me your right hand.
Oh, this is wonderful. I love to have my fortune told. McGee, be more quiet. I'm trying to talk to Mr. Wilcox.
What say, Molly? Hi, hello.
Hi, Fibber. Now, let me see here. This
Doggone
one.
it, Wilcox. You might let go of my wife's hand long enough to say hello. Hey, what is this anyway?
Don't be silly, McGee. He's reading my palm.
Oh, reading your palm. Well, what does the ladies' lunch hook tell you, pretty gypsy?
Madam, you were born in the Middle West, one of a large family. You were married when quite young to your childhood sweetheart, although you might have acquired wealth and position if you had chosen another man.
He means Otis Cadwallader, McGee.
I know who he means. Though I don't know how he can see him in your hand. You haven't got a wart. That come out even?
He's always been a little jealous of Otis Cadwallader, Mr. Wilcox.
I have not. All that guy ever had was a mandolin, an underslung roadster, and an overfed look. Besides, what he got that...
Hey, am I reading Molly's palm or not?
Go ahead, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, I can see that the world has treated you very well. You've had a pretty easy life, you've been economical, and your married life has been very happy. You're an excellent housewife, you keep up appearances, you enjoy your leisure hours.
Hey, you aren't even looking at her hand, you big fake. You're looking right out the kitchen door.
Well, what's the difference, McGee? He's told everything absolutely right. Say, how'd you know all that, Mr. Wilcox?
I saw that can of Johnson's self-polishing glow coat out there on the table, Molly. That tells anybody you're a good housewife. You enjoy plenty of leisure, you keep up appearances, you're economical, and lead a pretty easy life because glow coat saves you time and money and beautifies your home.
Oh, wonderful. I suppose you could look at a can of glow coat and see that she was born in the Middle West and was one of a large family.
No, but she has a Peoria High School ring on her finger, and there's a large family portrait on the piano with Molly in the middle.
Well, he's a regular Sherlock Holmes, dearie.
Oh, any Johnson wax man can tell a lot about people by looking around a house. To be an expert on surfaces, you have to know what's underneath. See you later, folks.
Oh, dear, what a fortune teller. All he needs is a bandana turban, a violin, and gold earrings.
Well, never mind about that. Now, you finish your job. I'll have to be setting the table for dinner pretty soon.
Well, I'll be through almost any time now. If I can find my little bitsy screwdriver. You know where it is?
Is that the one you used to take the alarm clock apart with?
Yeah, that's the one. Where is it?
Well, I haven't seen it since you put that clock back together.
Me either. How's the clock running now?
Well, it's very accurate if you put it on the dresser facing the mirror.
Huh?
The hands run around backwards. Well, we're doing a nice business here, aren't we? Who do you suppose that is?
I got 2 magic words I always use to find out things like that. Come in. Well, Mrs. Wearybottom.
Oh, hello, folks. I just stopped in to wish you a very happy New Year, and it certainly will be if we lick those dirty little sons of the rising sun. Imagine what they're doing in the Philippines.
Well, just give them enough manila and they'll hang themselves.
Oh, my. I I suppose you're going to see the old year out at a nightclub tomorrow night, but not me after what happened last New Year's Eve.
Yeah?
There I was hooping it up with my little paper hat on and blowing my horn for all was out, and I started across the dance floor on my way to the powder room, and I got some gum on my shoe, and I tried to scrape it off while I walked, and I got a prize for doing the rumba. My goodness, Mr. McGee, you must be an older man than I thought. You could never get that dirty in only 40 years. Well, Happy New Year, folks.
The King's Men singing Old Dan Tucker.
Funny old man with a funny old pan, and the name of this funny old bunny was Dan. Yep, old Dan Tucker was a fine old man. He washed his face in the frying pan. He combed his head with a wagon wheel and died with a toothache in his heel. So get out the way, old Dan Tucker. Get out the way, old Dan Tucker. Get out the way, old Dan Tucker. You're too late, too late, too late for supper, too late for supper. What a hungry old feller was old Dan Tucker. Come too late for to get his supper. Supper over, breakfast to cooking. Leaves old Dan standing looking. Get out the way, old Dan Tucker. You're in the way, get out, old Dan Tucker. Get out the way, old Dan Tucker. You're too late, too late, too late for supper. Too late for supper. Old Dan Tucker, too late for supper was.
Old Dan Tucker now, he got drunk. He fell in the fire and he caked out a chunk. A red-hot coal got in his shoe. And oh my golly, how the ashes flew. So get out the way, old Dan Tucker. Get out the way, old Dan Tucker. Oh, get out the way, old Dan Tucker. You're too late to get your supper. Oh, shortened bread, possum in the pan. Should be a plenty for a hungry old man.
But Dan was starving for to eat corn pone with chicken meat. So he went out and stole some pulleys.
Come a-running home with his pants full of bullets. Get out the way for old Dan Tucker. Get out the way for old Dan Tucker.
Get out the way.
Get out the way. Get out the way for old Dan Tucker. Can't sit down to eat his supper now. Poor old Dan.
You said
poor old Dan.
I said old Dan Tucker is a-growing gray. The time is a-coming for Judgment Day. When he gets to the pearly gate, I hope to goodness he won't be late. Oh,
get on the way, old Dan Tucker. Get on the way, old Dan Tucker. Get on the way, old Dan Tucker.
Get on the way.
Get on the way. Get on the way. Get out of his way. He won't be late for supper on that Judgment Day.
I'll get there. If I do, I did a whipping. I doed it. How about that? I overdoed it.
McGee? Yoo-hoo, McGee, come here a minute.
Doggone it, Molly. How can I ever get this job finished if you keep interrupting me? Hey, what's the iodine for?
Well, when you start tinkering, McGee, I get ready for anything. Just take a look in my sewing basket.
Well, I'll be iodine, bandages, splints, court plaster, and a cake of laundry soap. Hey, what's the soap for?
Well, that's to wash your mouth out if you hit your hand with the hammer again and say what I think you said.
I didn't say what you thought I said. I merely said that every time I slam it, it swells.
Oh. Well, for goodness sakes, get done with that mysterious job of yours and take a bath. You're simply filthy. Is that one of your good shirts?
Search me. I can't remember what color it was when I started work.
Take a look at your hands. You'll never get them clean.
Ah, that's the time I got you. I got rubber gloves on, so's that... Uh-oh. No, I haven't either. I forgot all about them.
Well, I only hope this job is worth all the time and effort and noise, that's all.
It is. You got my word for that, Molly. This is something you were going to do yourself and kept putting it off.
Me? Well, what on earth is... Oh, come on, tell me.
No, it's going to be a surprise. This is going to be the greatest thing that ever...
Oh, dear. Come in. Hello, Mr. Mills.
Hello, Molly. Where's Fibber?
What do you mean, where's Fibber? I'm Fibber.
Oh, excuse me, Skimp. I didn't know you in the coal miner's outfit.
Well, he's been working on some kind of a hush-hush job, Mr. Mills, though I don't know what it could be that would get him that dirty.
Well, you'll find out. Have a cigar, Billy?
Thanks. I got one.
You got two? Thanks. Smells good. Christmas stuff?
Nope, got that from one of my trumpet players. Just had a baby.
Ah, isn't that nice? How long will he be out of the band, Mr. Mills?
He'll never be out of any band long, babe, as long as he gives the maestro these 15 centers.
That's all. Say, I like your voice since you caught cold, Billy.
Yeah. It's just too Andy Devine.
Thanks.
By the way, Billy, how long have you been a musician?
38 years.
Heavenly days. How old are you now?
40. I had a drum when I was 2, a xylophone when I was 3, a piano when I was 4, and a sweet potato when I was 5, with gravy.
Well, what'd you have when you were 6?
Measles and a B-flat harmonica.
Huh. What did you get at 7?
X-rayed.
X-rayed? What for?
Swallowed the harmonica.
Did they operate?
Nope, still got it. Right down here.
Oh, heavenly days, Mr. Mills. Doesn't it ever cause you any trouble?
Oh, now and then, babe. I get a chord G when I tie my shoes, and I hiccup and B-flat.
Stick around a while, Billy. After I get cleaned up, I'll play you a game of ping pong.
By the time you get cleaned up again, Skimp, we'll both be too old to play ping pong. So long, babe. Too old to play ping pong.
Do I really look that dirty, Molly?
Indeed you do, dearie.
Yeah, I guess I do. I'm a mess. Give me a hairpin, will you?
Oh, never mind your hair. Put your hat on.
Oh, I didn't want it for my hair. I want to use it for a screwdriver. On account of I lost the screwdriver I had.
Uncle Dennis is home early tonight.
Well, I got to get this job finished, Molly. One more little adjustment, it's all set. Now, wait just a minute. I'll be right back.
Now, control yourself, Molly. Remember, they laughed at Robert Fulton and they sneered at Edison. Who knows what McGee might be doing out there?
Locked door. There she is. Okay, Molly, it's finished. I did it, and all by myself.
Well,
too.
don't keep me in suspense. What did you do? Now, tell me.
Well, you know that portable typewriter of yours?
Yes.
Well, I changed the ribbon on it.
Oh, my.
By the time we get together again next week, we'll all be trying to remember to write 1942 instead of 41. May I suggest one way to solve that problem? Take a pencil and paper and write down 50 times this sentence. In 1942, I resolved to practice protective housekeeping. Now, you can see what immense benefits such a resolution would bring. In the first place, furniture and woodwork would be protected against dirt and wear by a tough coat of genuine Johnson's wax. In the second place, this protective shield of wax will give your home that richly polished look, the extra beauty that decorators and careful housekeepers so much admire. And in the third place, the regular use of Johnson's wax will save you work all through the year, give you more time for useful defense service. Dust and dirt, you know, just don't stick to a wax-polished surface. Now, there are over 100 extra labor-saving uses for wax in your home. Uses like windowsills, leather goods, shoes, lampshades, Venetian blinds. And did you know that genuine Johnson's wax is now available in 3 forms: paste, liquid, and cream wax? Buy some this week.
Now, McGee, you go right upstairs and get cleaned up. Don't even sit down any place before you get out those clothes.
Okay, but I don't think you're being very appreciative.
Well, I'm sorry you think so.
Fine thing. Here I cut my hands to pieces, break my best screwdriver, ruin my clothes, and waste a whole day, and for what?
For the Wistful Vista typewriter shop, if you must know.
Yeah, well, that's... Huh? What do you mean?
This is their typewriter.
Huh?
I took mine down yesterday to get the ribbon changed.
What? You mean... Oh, sure. Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.